I wanted to kind of build on your post to talk about how people end up in the extended stay hotel trap. So you had talked about the extended stay hotel can be up to $600 a week. So imagine a person has no credit, poor credit, or they're escaping domestic violence and they have to have a change, or they cannot put together 3 times the rent to then move into a place. People end up in extended stay hotels.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. A lot of you out there, based on comments from my past video, are saying that it is a lot less expensive to live in a hotel. Today, I want to challenge that mindset and shine a light on the true cost of living in a hotel, especially if you think you're doing it to save money. As this first lady was saying in her very opening statements, it's a trap. Is it more convenient? Is it easier to get into? Well, most traps are.
All of your money can be used up either weekly or monthly. And in my case, at one point when I stayed in a hotel, I was paying by the day. If I would have just been able to have the lump sum amount, I could have just gone out and got an apartment. But I didn't have that money because it was all being eaten up by the hotel. Now, some people actually like staying in extended stay hotels because they don't have to pay for utilities. Some hotels have free breakfast, all these other kinds of things. Some of these hotels that you stay in like this, they are absolute dumps. So I've stayed in a hotel where a sex offender was my neighbor. I've stayed in a hotel that had rats.
She's speaking the gospel. And those of you that actually have taken this path will agree with a lot of things that she said. Let us know down in the comment section.
It really varies by place to place. And some people have said stuff like, I don't really see those around here. They're very prevalent in the South and in rural areas. You don't see them as much in certain parts of like California, but they do have them. It's just, I went for a baseball tournament for my son. I think I was in Fresno or Stockton or something like that. And we didn't realize that the hotel was a hotel that, unhoused people would put their money together to stay there like the beginning of the month. And then they would have to move out, and they would basically stay like right next to there until they could afford to come back.
A lot of different variables there. I'm not judging anybody. There's seasons in life, and there's a time and a season for everything. I too, for a whole week one time, and that's a long time if you don't have any place to go, was homeless. So I'm not talking down my nose at you, but I'm challenging a lot of you guys, trying to prevent you from falling into a trap, especially a lot of you younger folks. A lot of these narratives that you are being trained on these social media platforms just ain't real, and you're going to find yourself in a pickle. If you don't believe me, watch this next young lady explain why she's staying in these types of accommodations while knowing it's more expensive. Listen to some of the reasons that she's given. Let's check it out.
Hey guys, it's Nita here, your favorite hotel nomad girl. I'm sure you guys are probably wondering why did I choose the hotel nomad life anyways, and why am I kind of treating like it's a huge flex when it's very expensive than your average apartment. I don't know about you guys, but you can't be living the life that you thought you could live when you were a little kid and what your parents told you how life was supposed to be working according to what the economy was acting like back then. Pretty much, I got evicted, no good credit score. I'm not a huge fan of the pick-me approach when it comes to private landlords. Never in my life ever I thought that I would have to be in a position in life to do that. I used to live in a high-rise, and it was nice. I was paying $2,200 a month, and at the time, I had the funds to afford that and other expenses, but life was lifing. Rates were rating. Don't pretend like your apartment complex did not change its rates on you either. To be honest with you, that wasn't even the major cause. I actually brought it upon myself to make a huge restart in my life. I just did not want to be the $60K freelancer who's hustling and bustling in order to pay the bills for the rest of my life. I was like, nah, I really just want to have my own business. I'm burnt out from the hustle drive for this particular part of my life. If I have to put a lot of time and energy into something, it would definitely be in my own company where I hire other photographers to do the job and I just expand the company in different cities. That sounds more the life for me because I like traveling, and also I don't want to keep working my ass off so hard to only make $60K. What?
So you see what I'm saying? let's unpack. And very articulate young lady. I'm sure she's going to get it sooner rather than later. But first of all, did you hear the background? I don't know how you could rest there. It sounds like wherever she is, paying a high amount or an expensive amount, it's never in the best situation. But the reason for putting yourself in that situation is not based on reality. And maybe some of you guys have these reasons that, I don't want to work for anybody and I want to have my own business. And all of these things that you want to do will never, I won't say never, will be pushed off into the future. And some of you may not be able to realize them because she's in a trap and she doesn't know it. All of the reasons that folks are using, either free breakfast, free utilities, I don't have a background check, I don't have to validate my rental history, I don't have to have the first and last months. These hotels are getting it out of you anyway. And it's really going to come to fruition down the line because she really can't see it now. But for grace, so go I. If you're like this young lady and you're thinking that, you know what, I'm going to spend this time because I'm chasing a dream, right, where I want to do all of these things, know and understand that time is being wasted, our most valuable resource. And not only time, your pockets, whatever monies that you possibly could have, because you don't want any guidance, you're not going to have it because you're going to have to spend it to keep surviving. And as she said, credit's bad. Income is fluctuating and funny. You got to get somewhere and sit down and set some roots and begin to change your mindset, because living in these hotels is not cheaper. I want you to watch this next lady. She's real popular and she's probably making a killing online. Shout out to her, to where she is going to be able to buy a house. She's using the platform for what it's for, right? To get attention and make money. But hear what she's saying opposed to some of her other videos that you guys may have seen in the past, because in this one, she's really being more transparent. Let's check it out.
Calling me crazy for doing hotel and motel living and spending $75,000 in the past 3 years on living in types of motels and hotels like these, I'm starting to agree with you. You know, when I break it down to $1,600 a month, to me it don't sound so bad because that's my water, cable, trash, internet, all the things, electricity. However, when you really look at it, $75,000 is a lot of money that I've put in on something, of course, that's not going to be mine. But the biggest catch is it's not that we can't afford to pay, it's that we can't afford to pay and be able to save. It's really hard to save when every day things are steadily going up. And it used to sound more bizarre that people lived in motels and hotels, but now it's actually becoming quite popular. My inbox across multiple platforms stay full of people asking me how to get into hotel and motel living. People are quick to say, once you start doing this, it is hard to get out of. And you're right. But that comes with any type of renting. None can rent forever. I mean, at one point in time, we're not going to be able to afford to pay rent because we can't work. We're going to get older. People get hurt. People pass away. It's going to get harder the older we get.
Let's break down what she's saying. First of all, just quick math, $1,600 a month. Let me do that real quick. 1,600 times 12, 19.2 times 3. Yeah, that's only $57,600. That's over $2,000 a month. Okay. And so it's a trap, especially when you're younger, because as we all are younger, we don't think about our future self. And that's one of the biggest traps, because we never want to think about our future self. Well, if you hadn't figured it out, man, look at some of the stuff that's going on. If you're tired of being judged, getting denied, or feeling stuck, I want to help you look at your situation the right way. This is what I'll show you. What actually is holding you back, if anything, and what would it take for you to own your own home if that's what you want to do. There's a link in the description of this video. Schedule a free 15-minute consultation so I can hear what it is that you're trying to achieve. Let's be good to one another. Let us let grace abound. And oh, by the way, I picked these 2 videos for you to watch to help continue your education until the time you're ready to reach out. You guys stay blessed. Indeed.